Hello and welcome to Odin's Game Night Videocast here at Multiverse Comics Gaming. I'm Zach.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Isaac.
And we are the Trifecta
Of Odin's Board Game Night.
Yes.
And of course, we're being hosted by Daniel at the Multiverse.
This wonderful store.
This amazing store. We wouldn't know what to do with ourselves without it.
Yeah, it's lined with beautiful comics, weird cups that you can put your die in,
Yeah.
board games galore. There's even a paint set
Why
here.
does that feel like he was insulting Daniel there?
I don't think he was
No.
insulting him, but
Yeah, no,
he's
that's
just
not-
letting
That's
you know
just
what's
Jason.
there.
That's just Jason right there.
No, you didn't make them, but they're cool.
They're handmade.
I like them. I
They're
like them.
handmade.
Handmade.
Just because I find them weird doesn't mean I don't like them. I like
Oh,
good
no.
stuff. I like you guys.
That is an entirely another video of things that Jason finds weird. We'll probably find them what we call normal.
accurate.
But anyways, since we recently have passed by Thanksgiving and we're coming up to the Christmas time, you know what they all have in common? A lot of food. Of course there's family and fun and, but we're talking about food.
But-
Alright, so as every week, we get into the topic of what have we played recently. We'll start down here with you, Jason.
Well, people made me play frickin' Uno. And not just Uno, but its counterpart, Dos. I did
Twice
not.
as fun.
I did not have a good time. I don't.
I heard you laughing.
Well, I can laugh, but I don't like it. All right. I had
It's
one
stressful,
turn,
stressful.
and then the game was over.
It happens.
That's
No,
because you played with Oscar.
it wasn't even Oscar that did it. It was Brittany.
Have you ever played a game where somebody put a card, played one card and you killed your character? Sucks.
Well, you probably
I mean,
deserve
probably.
it.
That was one of my experiences from yesterday.
That's fair. That's fair. Last weekend, I got to play Castles of the Mad King Ludwig. One of my favorites. I love it. It's just good all around fun.
You get to build a castle, and I
And
love
it makes
that
no
game.
sense.
But that's the gloriousness
Excuse me, mine was
of
the
it.
party
It's
castle.
It's
I don't know
your
what you're talking about.
castle.
Yes, yours was the party castle. There was all activities,
All
no
activities.
food, no nothing.
Actually, I got a pantry.
a pantry.
I got a
Didn't
pantry.
you have a pit for me?
I did have a pit for you.
the bottomless pit.
I did put a
That's
bottomless pit
Jason's
in.
house.
The Castles is very fun. I love playing it. I just usually like to play it, make a theme. I run with it.
It's usually a good way to do that.
Very true. Very true.
Yesterday, I played Twilight Imperium, the 4th edition.
That's awesome.
If anybody's, if you've played it, you know what it is. If you haven't played it, it's a legendary board game that will take you 10, 11, 12 hours.
Pretty much
I
half
think
the day.
the rules actually tell you if you adding new players, set aside 15 hours to play.
Good lord.
15?
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, I can see it. Don't get me wrong.
Oh
but
yeah, I could see
I
it.
mean,
Like,
it
it's-
is the ultimate. You're building your universe or your people's.
I
things.
feel
You're
like
building
that's-
the ships. You're exploring the territory.
I mean, it sounds really fun, but I feel like that's where you rent a cabin in the woods for a weekend, and you just this is all we're doing other than eating.
But we started at.
Wait, you eat during these things?
Oh yeah, we had a lunch break and we had a dinner break for it.
Oh, nice. I missed a good.
But it was a
time.
lot of fun. It was actually it's the first time we've ever finished Twilight Imperium. Just under 10 hours is what it took.
Not bad. Not bad.
And of course, they were all seasoned players, so
that'd be my 4th time playing. And
Okay.
I
on the
will be
stage,
joining the next time. I swear it.
We have a group that meets. We're trying to meet once a quarter, I think, and play.
He's been doing pretty good about keeping that up.
Very true.
Mark
Very true.
Butler, shout out. So
Well,
yes, back to our theme.
Back to our theme. Yes. It is going to be food-based games, whether they use it as a main concept or as a mechanic in it. We just talked about our favorite games like that.
Yeah, I mean, really, it just gave us a reason to, pick out these games that we want to talk about, and a lot of them have that food mechanic in common, granted, in various different ways.
It's interesting that you brought Robinson Crusoe.
Well, I mean, that does have a food mechanic
But you
in it.
do need food to survive.
I don't think I've ever actually played it with
Well, okay, so
I played it.
I guess I'll start off then because Robin Crusoe is actually I believe it was the second board game I ever bought, like major board game. And basically in it, you're on an island. You might, have some people with you, and it's a worker placement game where you have a main goal in line, and you're trying to, build a shelter, hunt for food, make items, and you're trying to complete an overall objective. Where the food comes into play is at the end of, I believe, every night, every person needs to be able to eat 2 foods worth of something, I believe. And the way you do that is, I think you can build items to give you food, or you can go, the primary way is going to go hunt for it, which can be very dangerous because you only have a certain amount of hearts, and if you, get hurt and lose all your hearts, the game is over.
Yeah.
It's very unforgiving. This game has a special place in my heart. I don't play it as much as I would like to anymore, but it's a fun co-op game. Very stressful to a degree, but it can be worth it if you finish off.
It is a Z-Man game.
It is a Z-Man game, which
is,
that gives it its
Like
merit.
it's definitely got a lot of pedigree there.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I mean Z-Man games usually.
And this I think is also no, this is not the second edition. There's a second edition out that I think makes it easier, or it changed something.
Something, but now you have like they have like a whole box that they have for it now that has like everything in it.
There it is. That might be what I'm thinking.
Stuff like that. They have updated new stuff, different covers and such. But I don't know what the differences is between
I
this
don't
one
think
and the other one.
I definitely have. I haven't played it.
I do want to throw out in
We
this
talked
game.
about it, and Jason cowered about it a little bit. And then we
Well,
decided
I'll tell
not
you
to
what.
play.
If you want to play, I will gladly bust it out the next time. On one of these
We're gonna have to
few
do
game
it
nights
this
or
night
soon.
one night.
We will. We'll do it, and I'll bring it. A really cool thing in this, though, you do get a little dog companion that you can bring along, and it's pretty cool. And then you also have this islander that helps you out. His name is Friday. Yeah, but that's easy mode. That's for us
easy mode.
nubs.
One of my favorites, obviously, is right here. It's Sheriff of Nottingham. Just an all-around good bluffing game. It's just always fun to look at your friend and like, what are you trying to sneak past me now? Are you trying to give me actual food or contraband?
Why don't you take this 2 gold and not
Yeah,
think
why don't you
about
take
it?
this 2 gold and not think about it? Oh, thank you. And then someone else is like, well, how about this 4 to actually check his bet? Oh, that's better.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I love the fact that you can sit there and bribe people in that
Oh,
game.
yeah.
And, I mean, I don't know if it's one of those games that you play with kids because it talks about bribing and trying to get around the law.
Look, there is nothing
Boy.
wrong with teaching
Start 'em
your
early.
kid to bribe.
But it's a lot of fun. It's quite enjoyable.
Back in the day, they would call that barter.
Oh, is it
The
called-
expansions, I know, they add
With Merry
special contraband or
Yes.
something. Like, normally you have normal contraband,
Yeah,
but
you
this
have-
one adds special.
You have normal stuff, you have laws that go into effect, and hey, it's nothing like sitting there like, I have 4 bushels of apples. And it's like, well, you do, but where did this Will Scarlet come from?
And therein lies the food mechanic, by the way. It's
Yeah.
like the primary thing you're smuggling is food.
It's
well,
food.
you're not
Chicken,
smuggling
well-
you're smuggling contraband, but a lot of the goods
It's
Your
are
farmer's
food-based.
bringing your goods to the market.
Yeah, you have your
Or-
cheese, your bread, your chickens, and your apples.
Mhm.
Of course, each one they have a special contraband version, like royal chickens or golden apples, stuff like that.
Golden
So
apple.
And I believe each one is also valued differently.
Yes.
Too,
yeah,
right?
they're
I think apples are like the the cheapest ones, because there's also a certain amount of each good in the decks.
it also plays towards your points towards
Yeah.
the end. You can they have points for first, second, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I mean it's just generally all around good game.
I
The only
agree.
thing I wish they'd improve on it is the quality of the bags. Those
Oh, I was
snaps
gonna-
will
yeah.
come off so
Always.
quick.
I think of mine, I definitely broke the blue bag.
Hmm. I think ours is the yellow.
Yeah. And it always seems every time we play, there's a bag that's broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
But other than that, like it's a for the price range for it, and the fact that it doesn't take long to play, and I think the base game is like 3 to 5 people can play.
Yeah, something like that.
I would even say it's honestly a family game.
To an extent,
I would.
yeah.
So joking aside about teaching kids how to get around the police, it's definitely a family game.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's definitely a lot of fun when we play with people.
You get to see how sneaky some of those people.
A few years ago, I took it to the library for the kids board gaming
Oh
group,
yeah, I
and
remember
they
that.
loved it.
Yeah,
Like
I
hands
bet.
down, they loved the idea of trying to
Sneak
sneak
past.
past
Yep.
somebody and just kind of convince them that, oh, this is right. This is exactly 4 apples. Where'd you get 4 apples from? Yeah.
This feels like
Or then they got caught. Oh no, you caught me.
But then that's also the amazing part of the game is sometimes somebody says, I got 4 cheese, and you find out they got 4 cheese, and it's like, okay then.
That's my favorite part. Is telling the truth and making the sheriff think that I did not.
Uh-huh,
Because I think when that happens, don't they have to give you
Yeah.
money?
Yeah.
So like it can be a neat little like altar bluff, where you're trying to just outwit the sheriff in the opposite way. It's good. It's really great.
All right. Well,
Better than Robinson Crusoe.
Well, I mean,
Less
yeah,
stressful.
It's definitely probably less. But I've never
yeah,
played.
yeah.
You're gonna play. I need you to play this game now. I didn't
be
know
fun.
you did.
I think it's funny because we should start a little segment. Games that Isaac actually hasn't played that somebody else owns.
I can't imagine.
I feel like that's a small list.
Yeah,
No!
you cannot fit that on like more than 10 fingers.
Who knows? Yeah.
It's possible.
But tonight I wanted to talk about a good Kickstarter that came out recently, Rival Restaurants.
Now see, that's a game I've not heard of.
So basically what you are is you're a restaurateur, and you're competing against other restaurants to be the best restaurant, to be the most popular restaurant, or the first to 20 points. Basically, it has three phases, what they call move, money and move, buy, barter, cook, and counter. So the idea is that you buy the ingredients to make your food, then you'll barter with other people to trade to get their food to make your recipe.
That's pretty
And
cool.
you get to choose. You can buy recipes on the side. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
My
that
favorite part
sounds-
is they don't call it the winner; it's the wiener.
That can get
And,
out of hand. Real quick.
No, it's relatively popular. I played it a couple times. It's fun,
Yeah.
fast. Once you understand the mechanics of the game, it moves really quick. And it can get hectic because some of the ingredients are rare and it's hard to get.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I want those points because what you cook is how you get your points, and certain recipes are 1 point.
Yeah,
Does
yeah.
it suit more than 2 people?
I believe it's 4. I think it's a 4-person game.
Oh, okay. Man, that actually does sound like a lot of fun.
I enjoyed
It
it.
does. I think I've seen it once or twice, maybe just in passing, but it did look interesting.
And I'm
to say the
assuming no
least.
one we know owns it.
We do have a friend that owns it.
Yeah, but how often are we going to be able to see him?
I'm going to borrow it. I just
Okay,
haven't-
cool. Do that.
It was
I want
supposed
to
to be
play
here.
it now.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
But yeah, and also just recently they did the Kickstarter for the expansion, and I think that comes out in January.
What is the expansion?
okay.
It adds more cooks.
Okay.
One of the cool things on their website, you can go on there and it has all the different cooks that you can be, and you can read their backgrounds because all the little chefs have little backgrounds.
Do they have like
What they
special powers, like abilities
Uh,
and such? Or like
I
one
think the
major one that
restaurant
separates
cards
them?
do.
The restaurant itself does, like if you're doing a taco shack and stuff like that. So
Man, that sounds interesting.
It does sound very interesting.
it does say each individual controls a chef cook with his own chef power. Chef powers are asymmetrical and allow players to bend the rules to their favor.
You know,
There are 12 chefs.
I do love asymmetry in games, and that might definitely be a future thing we need to talk about is asymmetry, because that has enough games in its own to talk about.
Yeah.
But I do love that is a thing, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I think there's one game here that we've all played. There's actually 2 games here that we've all played. That at least, well, yeah, 3. So
4.
go 2. I mean, my personal favorite game that deals with food is Caverna. This game is massive, supports up to 7 people. It takes quite a while to play. It's a action economy game, worker placement. have you,
Yeah.
where you're basically you're
It checks
dwarf.
a lot of boxes.
It does. You're a dwarf. You have like your little family that you live with, and every dwarf you have represents a little meeple action that you can take of this available list of actions that everyone else can take. And one big piece of that is at the end of a certain amount of time, you have to do what's called a harvest, where you have to feed your people. And there's several ways you can go about doing that. And one of the main ways is you have a cave that you kind of dig out and make into like your house, and then you have the field where you actually set up and you can grow, I forget the two types. One's wheat, and I think the other one's like pumpkin or something.
Yeah,
But,
pumpkin and wheat.
but also you can also get animals, and each animal also represents a certain amount of food. So at the end of a harvest, you might have just one cow that you need to eat to sustain all of your people. And the rest go to points at the end. I love the way that this game makes it so that you can actually farm your own food, as well as animals, and manipulate those resources to actually use in that way.
I always get obsessed with making my cavern.
I
I always do. Like
So-
that's where I get most of my points. I'm a very much miner,
The cool thing
and the
about
food
that,
outside's always secondary.
well, the cool thing
He's a
about
miner,
that
miner.
is when you upgrade the inside of your cavern, you actually have little advanced rooms that you can make, and one of those rooms actually allows your people to eat rocks.
Yes.
Or wood or something.
Stronger stuff.
So they literally turned every little piece that you could get in that game into food, and it's wonderful.
It's a great game.
It's good.
It's another one of those. I feel like every time we convert it, it's still a really long game.
Yeah.
About
Oh
3
no,
hours, I think.
it is long. I personally, you all saw my top 10. It was in my top 10. I love it.
Right.
I don't get to play it near as much because it is a long game, and not everyone wants to sit down for that. But
Right.
I might
it
give
has a solo mode.
Might have
so
to give it another shot
please do.
sometime
Please
sooner
do.
or later.
I want to
'cause,
play.
but still, it just takes the heart out of you. It's like, I've got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm like third in line to try, so it's already done. And
Yeah,
then the,
Yeah, that can
then
be.
the one to copy somebody else's action's already taken too, so it's like,
got to make do with what you got. I will say that it can be stressful in that way. Very competitive, in
Definitely,
that
especially when you're playing and you realize halfway through the game somebody's playing the exact same strategy you,
yeah.
and then now it's like you have to beat them to that component in order for you to.
Yep. And then of course, the moment someone beats it, just screws up the other person's plan, and then they have to readjust, or they just never pick back up. I mean, it can happen, but seasoned players can find a way.
I'm surprised you didn't talk about Harvest Dice.
Well, I mean, that's
There
why
for
I
a while,
brought
was
it.
stuck to your side everywhere you went.
Yeah, well, this
When you first got it.
this was my second or third rolling right. I mean, it's a little
I thought
simple
it was your
one.
first.
It actually might be.
I think it
Like,
was.
and I think that's
Having
why
roll rates
I do
before
bring
that.
it. Like, I mean, it's a really simple rolling right where
Oh,
you're
yeah.
literally just growing a farm. You have 3 different resources. It's tomatoes, cabbage, and carrots. And then
Yeah.
you just draw where you want them in the field, and then based on where they're at, you,
Yeah,
you
get
get a
points.
certain amount of points if you complete a row, column, and side. Really easy, really basic. You also have a little pig that you get to feed, so it's pretty.
It doesn't take that long.
No, it's really
Like,
quick.
Speaking of good quick games, we also have Sushi Go over here, which is just a nice little fun drafting game. You start out with a hand of cards, say, yeah, I think I want to go with the nigiri or the sashimi. You put that down.
No
you pass.
wasabi?
No. You got to play your wasabi right.
What's the one that Derek likes?
The pudding.
The
Pudding.
pudding, yeah.
Like every card, they get a certain amount of points based on something. I think pudding is whoever has the most gets the most amount of points at the
Yeah,
end or something.
and that one's tricky because it's also whoever has the most of them gets so many points, but whoever has the second most or least gets negative points. So it's really a gamble with that.
What I love is that the expansion,
The
the Sushi Go Party.
Yeah, Sushi Go. Yeah, you got recipes in it. It adds more things to it. It's more to strive for. You actually choose which cards go into the deck then, and it's good family fun.
And like I literally just took food and slapped it on cards and been like, hey, here's a points game.
And
Have
it's,
They do it-
relatively cheap game
Yeah,
to pick
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
I've mentioned it numerous times. My family loves this game. And this is the competitive sports. When he's sitting here talking about you can, calmly draft and take into people. No, not in our household. It's like throw them, crack, and grab, keep going.
Y'all play some aggressive games.
So there are certain games that are aggressive. Although my sister keeps trying to tell me I'm imagining it.
Well, y'all like to think I'm competitive, so it could
Well, you are competitive.
only in a friendly sense.
Yeah. So I guess then that leads us to talk about Dead of Winter, where eating food and cleaning up after food is a mechanic.
Well, I wouldn't say cleaning up after food per se, but as you make food, you create waste.
I mean the waste.
That
I mean,
waste.
Yeah.
So, like, in that game, you're a band of survivors trying to survive against the zombie eat everybody.
Some people would say it's a zombie game, but no, it is food and food management and waste management. That's what it is.
I mean,
Technically
you're
people are
zombie-
food.
you're
Yeah.
food is zombies.
Yeah.
I mean-
So if you look at it in that aspect, but no, like the food mechanic in this is fairly low, but it does play a role in the sense that if you can't feed your people, they starve, you lose morale.
Yeah.
You lose too much morale, the game's
the
over.
game.
But a lot
Oh.
the cards.
So yeah, overall you have main objectives that the goal the group as themselves are trying to accomplish, and some of them do require you to gather a certain amount of food, or one specifically that I hate is you have to create a bunch of what's called what are they called? I can't remember them because I blocked them out of my memory. I hate them so much.
Would it be barricades?
No,
No,
it's
there's an actual guest.
they're the people that
Outsiders.
are like
Yeah,
kids
outside-
and
yeah,
the
outsiders.
Yeah, they take an extra food.
They
Yeah,
take
they're
an
not
extra
called
food.
outsiders. The outsiders summon
Helpless
them.
survivors.
Thank you. But yeah, so like basically they basically take up a spot in your reservoir. They take up food. They summon zombies. They provide you no benefit. However, there are some characters that get benefits from that. There's also characters that benefit from eating food, which can actually manipulate one of your die to give you, like, say, a better action to do on your turn. So, I mean, the food in this game does actually have its uses, and also, along with the objectives, there are secret objectives, too, that each person has, and those themselves are like main objectives, but those secret ones allow the people to actually win.
Look, I just want to bring my friends home.
in
that game.
And your
Make
friends
all the
are-
friends. I remember we were playing a game with one of our friends, and that's all he did. If he had a chance to get another sidekick or a survivor, he did.
And I tell you what, if I played with him, I would have cried.
Every time.
Because the more people you have, the more zombies you have, the more food management. And it is a co-op game.
I don't remember if we won that game though. I just remember it was the game that we forgot to put in the betrayer mechanic.
You forgot to put in the betrayer mechanic? Or
Yeah,
were
it
you
was
like
with
me?
you.
Or were you with me and actually put them all as betrayer?
That might have been it. That might have been
That's
it.
what I
Yeah,
did.
Because it was with me. I mean, you know the person I'm talking about.
It was young, right? Yeah, no, yeah. I was sitting there like, why does he keep doing this? He's screwing himself, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, wait, at the end, we were all betrayers. You're not supposed to do that. That's a
No.
That's a
it's
Jason
frowned
Fudge
upon.
up thing.
Well, like I said, if you like what we were showing today, don't forget to like and to subscribe. I can't talk tonight.
And if you know of any games that have a food mechanic themselves that we didn't touch on or have something unique to them, definitely let us know. And if there's actually a particular theme you want us to go over, well, please let us know. I mean,
Please,
Put it in the
by all
comments
means.
below.
yes, and
Indeed.
like and subscribe. Did we say that already?
I did.
We
but I
did.
butchered it.
Do it again. If you
Yes,
can.
please
Make
like
a
and
new
subscribe.
account and then do it again.
Tell a friend.
Ooh, definitely.
If
do
you
that.
have
tell one
suggestions,
friend.
definitely put it in the comment section. Yes.
We have a new thing. We now have a Discord.
We do
Oh,
have a
we do
Discord
have
channel.
Discord.
Officially
Yeah.
set up. I had some outside motivations, though. Kudos to you, Kyle.
Tell people.
The Discord name, Jason.
I know. I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Isn't it called Odin's Game Night?
Yeah, I think it's
Odin's
called
Game.
Odin's Board Game Night. Yeah, that's exactly what it's called. It's what we are. I don't know if it has a more specific name than that.
It's Odin's Board Game Night. That's what it says.
Yeah,
Odin's
but
Board
I don't
Game
think they
Night.
can find it just based on it. It is a private channel, though, so not anyone can just join. I did that because I didn't want random people finding it and being
That's the-
trolls.
I mean,
But you want random people to join.
this.
As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time in the multiverse.
Peace out. Don't tell me what to do. You're not my boss.
Daniel is the boss.
Although you have
Did
to
you
say
start
He is
recording the
technically-
other one?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
he's
we did.
not.
Why is he not the boss?
How
This
is it? How, he's not my boss.
All right, I would like to point out that
I'm the
around at you.
editor-in-chief of the YouTube
He's our
channel.
editor.
I didn't
Hello
sign
and
a
welcome to Odin's
contract.
Game Night Videocast here at Multiverse,
I did.
where
Daniel's
everyone is their own boss.
Yes, I agree
Maybe,
with that. Wait,
except
no,
Daniel.
stop.
He's the main guy.
Yeah, all right.
I
Try to
am
get credit.
Zach.
Whoa.
I'm Jason
I'm Isaac.
And we are the Trifecta.
Okay.
of
Go
Odin's
back
Board
to
Game
a
Night.
different intro. That will be good for my credits because it's outtake type stuff.
I was ready though.
Pretty good. Adds a lot of stuff in. You actually have recipes and such then. It adds a lot to it, and I think it actually adds more people, so you can have that. I hung in there as long as I could.